This is Ian, and welcome to my channel on home construction. What we're looking at here is an old video from when the Amish came and helped us clean out the properties, the two houses that we had on our property, various old things that we no longer needed and some things that they wanted. And it was interesting to see them working on the property and identifying things that were of value. They didn't take everything that was there, but they found value in lots of things that we no longer needed. You know, whether it's an old sofa or even the doors on the upper cabin, the interior doors, which they were kind of poorly made from the 1970s, but they found some use for that. And one thing I want to talk about actually is the 1970s cabin, because most of the time when I'm talking about what we call in our family the camp, we're talking about the 1920s property, the log cabin that's right on the waterfront. But in the 1970s, my grandfather built this kind of overflow space for relatives and guests to stay in. And it was a really bare bones type of property. It had kind of a larger bedroom, a small bedroom, a very simple kitchen, and a bathroom. There's no foundation. It was basically on concrete blocks kind of over an empty area. There wasn't even any skirting around it, but just for people to stay in it, it served the purpose pretty well. This is another angle of the 1970s cabin. You can see a couple things that are worth mentioning. The first thing is that this cedar, which in the 1970s was a tiny tree. I have pictures of myself standing in front of this tree. We did some cookouts here. This is an old barbecue. But this tiny tree grew into a giant monster that basically obscured the view from anywhere on this cabin that's kind of worth considering. So we had a window in the kitchen. Now it's completely blocked. This deck was starting to fall apart. You can see the lack of a proper foundation. It's basically, a very simple plywood house on concrete risers. This is the new sewer construction that was put in about 10 years ago. And, this clothesline, many people who have summer camps will recognize a picture like this because there's no washer or dryer up there. So, after you go in the river, you might just hang a towel or hang a swimsuit up here to dry. Very, very simple living. But this particular cabin was nothing special at all. We had a little bit of kind of sorrow, I think, when we had the 1920s cabin demolished, because that was kind of central to the whole camp experience. 1970s cabin didn't have many strong feelings. And actually, I was looking around for pictures of the interior of the cabin to show you what it looks like. And there wasn't much. Like, this is one of the few pictures I took last year of the interior. This is one of the Amish fellows, young guys, taking off this, cheap hollow plywood door, and basically they were going to use it for some project on their property. You can see the old-fashioned linoleum, a very simple kitchen, and this kind of fake wood grain interior siding on the wall. So this was nothing really special at all, the 1970s cabin, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like. And again, just for your reference, I bring up this map all the time. 1920s cabin was right on the river. The 1970s cabin was a little bit further back, and it was just basically an overflow space for our family. If this video helped, please take a moment to like it and follow me, and check out the channel for many more videos about home construction for people who've never done this before, which was my situation before I got started.